T minus 90 seconds. T minus 80 seconds. T minus 70 seconds. T minus 60 seconds. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 15 seconds.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another incredible, unbelievable year of Outpost frequencies. We're back. We're getting it done, baby. With me, as always, is Sean. How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Yes, does he know how to suck the energy out of a room or what? And Matt, how are you? Welcome back.
Hello, Sam. Good.
It's just another lovely year of one viewers to start out with. I'm so happy. That's probably one of you two, too.
It'll be Phil.
Phil is taking a little time off. He will probably be back in February. Just real life is kicking his butt. We wish him well. It's kicking all our butts.
We're all praying for his quick recovery from his current herpes outbreak.
That's
right.
That
monkeypox is not good.
So I've already fucked up the production here.
I've seen that.
I don't know what the hell's going on. So anyway, it's 2023, gentlemen.
It is.
We're back. We're back.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. 2022. 2022 to 2022.
Yeah, burn in hell. 2022.
2022 died suddenly on December 31st at midnight.
Climate change. Climate change yourself to death.
It's probably it was either that or COVID. Whatever it is, I don't care. Just die. Every past year is worse than it seems like, and every year I go into it with new optimism, and every year I'm roundly disappointed. But you know what? Maybe this time.
You know, when did that start? Because I recall there was definitely, and everybody jokes about, the Harambe thing, but there was definitely a year where, things changed. And, you know what I'm saying? Because
I think it was around 2014.
You think so? That long ago?
Yeah. I think about that time is when, the Gamergate and all that stuff really started up, and that they took the Occupy Wall Street movement and turned it into identity politics, and then it just ramped up from there, and then it just never stopped. It just got worse. That's by that time they had Ghostbusters 2016 in production. We know that came out. Star Wars came out, and it just from entertainment and cultural standpoint, everything just started going to shit, I think, in 2014. I mean, if you want to take it back to 2011, I suppose, but it was a kidney stone of a decade, I'll tell you what.
Dude, things haven't been the same since 2000. It's cliche to say it, but the world that we grew up in really did end on 9/11.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think that was the touching point that everything went wrong.
Yeah. You know, we had the Big Bang. It's just been downhill from there.
Ever since I was born, things have gotten progressively worse.
Yeah. Might be a correlation there, Sean.
Could be. Do you know? I remember the day I was born. It shocked. I swear to God, it shocked me so bad, Matt. I couldn't speak for 2 years.
Honestly, that's what I saw from Phil.
I saw it coming, like an oncoming train line. I couldn't get out of the way. Whammo. Terrible joke.
Starting 2023 off right.
So it's already ruined. Bring on 2024.
Yep. Can I mention my new T-shirt, my new hoodie? Look at that. Name the
Biff's.
film.
Oh, that is very cool, man.
Biff's Auto Detailing.
That's so awesome. We're just
that is very.
We're just corporate advertisements. That's all we are now.
Back.
I gotta admit,
and
I'm a little. Oh,
check this out. I've got new T-shirts as well.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is that the space? Yeah, okay. George McFly's book. Nice.
What is it? I can't. Wait a minute. I gotta wait for that YouTube feed. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I'm a little jealous of that hoodie. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna. Oop. Let me put you. There you go. Okay, you're full screen there. Give everybody a look. There you go.
A match made in space by George McFly. It's
that
class,
is
isn't
cool.
it?
Yeah, it is.
I found a website called. They're not paying me, but I'm going to tell you they are anyway.
Oh, wait a minute. We don't do things for free around here.
If you're going to shill, do it right.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them a shout. It's their last exit to nowhere, and they got some quality gear on there. It's all like movie stuff, but it's all stuff you see in the background rather than just branded.
Send me the link to that on Slack later when you get a chance.
Yeah, man.
I like to buy my stuff off of that. Oh shit. I can't. Rotten Cotton and Frat Rags and stuff like that. But it's always horror related. It's never like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So a little too specified.
Hey, I've got some.
The cannibal rapist sites.
What is that?
You've never heard of that? You will never hear that. Neither one of you know what that is, I bet.
I do not.
That is only in Kentucky, my friends.
Huh. Is it nice?
Well, I tend to avoid Kentucky.
What was that, Matt?
I said, is it nice? But it must be because you're drinking it. Hold on a minute. I'm shilling for last exit to nowhere. You've got the you're next year. What are you promoting? What are you promoting for free?
But that's for Kentucky, though. This is different. Kentucky is a state that will control the world one day. So,
you reckon?
Oh yeah. I mean, don't you want to live under a Kentucky banner? I mean, be honest. Do you see the things that I get to do and get away with? Tell me you don't. Tell me you don't want that for yourself.
It sounds good.
President Thompson will have his new economic initiative, which we will become a major exporter of banjos.
That hurt. Why do you have to be so hurtful, man?
You keep teeing them up, I'll keep knocking them down. That's the way it works here. You know that.
That's
you
fair.
knew what this was, sir.
So, guys, let me, before I forget, I watched Copenhagen Cowboy, the new Nicholas Winding Refn joint miniseries. Well, it ends with a cliffhanger. It's intended to be more than one season, but it's not going to be. My first, I hate to admit it, but it's my first disappointment from Nick. It's beautifully shot. It's very Nicholas Winding Refn, but I can't believe I'm going to say this, but it's dog shit, boys. It's dog shit.
If you don't like it, then I'm probably not going to bother.
It's indecipherable, Maybe it's because it's like heavily What country is he from? Denmark. I don't know. Denmark, yeah. Maybe it's like because a lot of it seems to be like folklore inspired, maybe from that area. I don't know, because it's certainly nothing I recognize. But it's it veers into surreal and then goes straight into supernatural. And
what?
But it's I don't know, man. I just it drag it his famous like long panning shots and dead silences go on way too long, and I mean it's got violence and neon and all the stuff that I normally like, but
well, isn't that typical? Like a lot of these directors, when they get too much, you give them too much rope, and then they end up making just a lot of self-indulgent stuff.
It's very,
yeah. George Lucas with the prequels, guy who made the Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson with the Hobbit.
Jackson.
I mean, that's pretty. It happens a lot. I did want to talk about.
Oh, wait a minute. The Pale Blue Eye. Did we all see that? Or am I?
No.
Pure Kino. It's a masterclass.
Is it?
Highest recommendation.
Do you know what? It was on my watch list, and my father-in-law come round, and he's like, "Have you seen that Pale Blue Eye?" I was like, "No, it's on my watch list." He goes, "It's really good," and then he told me the ending. I just went, "Thanks,
pal."
Is this the one? Refresh me on which one this is. Is this the one with Christian
Bale? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I've heard mixed things, but I'll give it a shot if you guys like it.
Listen, it's excellent, and it's a great thriller, crime, investigative. It's great. I can't. Yeah, it will go on my. It's already like in my top of the year list. I can tell you that. Yeah, it's great.
I've not heard anything about it.
Watch it. It's worth your time.
Okay.
I did finally finish up Tulsa King, Matt. And very quality, good ending, nice. I'll just say I just loved the murder at the end. It was great. All these bikers coming in just get slaughtered. It's fantastic.
Do you know who the main biker is? You know the bloke with the Irish accent?
No.
Right, it was really puzzling me. I was thinking, I've seen this geezer before, and it's really driving me up the wall. And I normally like to let my brain try and work out who it is, and I gave up, so I had to Google him. He's an English actor, which is why his Irish accent is so good. But do you remember The Dark Knight?
Never heard of
the
it.
guy they call the Roman who says his dogs are hungry.
Oh,
and
yeah.
when Joker burns the cash. It's him.
He's the Russian guy in that?
Yeah.
Or whatever? Yeah. Oh, that's funny. No, I wouldn't have recognized him.
No, I didn't as well, and he was driving me up the wall.
Is Tulsa King a limited series, a miniseries, or a movie?
So Stallone just came out and said that he's probably not going to be doing any more acting, but he is signed on for season 2 for sure. After that, I don't know. I mean, if he doesn't want to do any more after that, maybe it comes to a conclusion after 2 seasons. But yeah, I mean, I'm just totally enthralled with this character he's created, which is, pretty much him. I mean, it's Stallone doing Stallone, but it's still, it's just another facet. Like, Stallone kind of dumb and optimistic and, Rocky, right? And then you got Stallone, but he's damaged and he's smarter and he's a good fighter. You got Rambo. And this one is Stallone, but he's more refined and he's a criminal, but he's very smart and he's very calculating and he's got a lot of things he's trying to make up for, and he wants to reconnect with his daughter and everything, but it's just he doesn't know any other life and any other way to get on his feet and go forward other than to be this criminal. But he's doing it in a different way, and he's trying to be his own man about it, and it's just. Yeah, it's a Taylor Sheridan show, so it's very complex, and it's great characters, and it's just great.
I did not realize that was a Taylor Sheridan project.
Yeah.
It's good. It is good. It's more of a black comedy, which I was surprised at, to be honest with you.
A little bit.
I think it's
I
quite
don't
a
know
lot
if
of
it
stuff
quite. I mean, there's some funny moments, but I don't know if I
going on.
would steer it directly into black comedy territory.
No, I don't think. Because I think with Yellowstone and Mary Kingstown, they're always quite serious. But I think there's quite a bit of comedy in this.
Oh, there
I was
is.
surprised.
But
It's a lot more light-hearted.
it is, but it's also. I mean, it's got a lot of good atmosphere and weight to it and everything. I wouldn't call it a comedy per se, just a drama with some funny moments.
Yeah, fair enough.
But now you mentioned Mary Kingstown. I started to watch the first episode. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's like this is a Taylor Sheridan show. It's got good characters. It's got everything it should have. I can't tell you what's wrong with it, but it just wasn't grabbing me.
Stick with it, my friend.
Well, I'll give it a try. I just kind of was like going through it, going, I'm not. I don't know. Maybe it's the hook or something, but it's just not grabbing me the way the other shows have.
Which show?
Stick with it. This is Mary Kingstown.
Mary Kingstown.
You will love it, Sean. There's lots of guns and SWAT teams and
I saw
some
that
ultra violence in that.
I was at Walmart over the weekend and saw that it was already released on DVD. So I was like, I'm gonna have to pick that up because Matt was talking it up. So I might pick it up on DVD.
I'll send you a link.
Oh, okay. Yes, of course, on like whatever streaming service it's on, so I can.
Paramount Plus.
You'll send me. Yes, please do that so I can subscribe to watch this.
I think you would like that more than Tulsa King, if I'm honest.
Well, if it's got.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say. I just said stick with it because it gets better every episode. And Jeremy Renner's great in it as well.
R.I.P. his legs.
Yeah,
Just finished Andor 5 minutes ago. Popped into LMO after every episode for your review. Love the site, lads. Thank you, Decky.
Thank you.
Well, that was very
appreciate it.
That was very flattering.
Yeah,
probably unjustified.
Yeah, he doesn't know us yet. So since I'm the host today, I get to decide what we're going to talk about. So I did want to talk about. Did you guys see the Ant-Man trailer?
No.
Yes.
So the reason why I want to talk about this, there is a interesting rumor abounding in the comics, and I wanted to read this, and then I thought it was interesting from the fact of where the MCU is going, where it may die. But a new rumor claims that recently reported reshoots for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium are being done to insert Marvel's trademark cheap laughs and lame jokes into the film. Earlier this month, Paul Rudd was reportedly photographed on location in Los Angeles filming reshoots. Looks like he's carrying something. I don't know. For all its virtues, the Marvel executives did allegedly have one problem with the cut Peyton Reed delivered. Apparently, it deviated too much from the Marvel formula. That is to say, it had a compelling story and narrative structure that would keep fans engaged, but what it apparently didn't have was enough jokes, laughs, and trademark Marvel lightheartedness. That then is what the reshoots reportedly are aimed at doing: add jokes and cheap laughs into a by default serious movie with heavy themes in order to make it more lighthearted and fun for the masses. So the reason why I wanted to mention this is because I feel like this is a very typical thing with studios, and I'm using the MCU as an example, but that the original MCU was doing something new and different, and it worked. And now that they've done that, you end up with a new class of executives that go in and say, well, you can't change nothing. You can't change this. You can't change that, right? And next thing you know, you've got this, this formula where they're just shoving stuff in by committee. And I think this is what happens to just about, I feel like almost every IP, whether it's just the next sequel or whether it's a large sprawling thing like this. It's just like these studio executives, I don't know if it's cowardness or just too scared to try anything new or worry about damaging the brand and all that. And then I look at it and go, well, if you're so worried about damaging the brand, then why do you make things like Velma?
So just to cut in for a second there, Cecil has just texted me and I invited him if he wanted to join us for a few minutes, if you guys don't mind.
The more the merrier, man.
Oh, never mind. He says he can't. He's getting ready to go out the door anyway. So
yeah, stop teasing us with this shit.
I didn't know. He answered like
if he actually wants to get on, then you tell us.
Oh well, I wanted to make sure nobody minded. I didn't know if you had like wanted to be like laser focused today or something, so I didn't.
So I'm just saying that it's a weird thing because I was not going to watch Velma. I wanted to talk about Ant-Man a little bit and show the cowardice of studios, and I'm wondering if Velma is just the same cowardness, or if it's. I watched an episode, and like half of the second episode, I couldn't go anymore. I had no interest in it other than we just kept hearing about it, and people kept talking about it. And I was kind of shocked that the mask was just completely off, and they just went full absolute racist. Just white people, you are born wrong. And just by being born a certain way, you are bad. That is the message now I thought we went through the whole civil rights to kind of unlearn that idea that you don't get born a certain way. It's your actions and all that. It's not what you look like. But apparently, though, that's no longer it. Hollywood has decided that they've got their new race that they hate, and it's white people. And they are, you have, there's nothing you could do. You were born wrong, guys. I'm sorry.
Might as well lean into it. That's what I say.
I know you. Well, you were doing that. You were doing that before it was cool.
That's true.
I might just start calling myself an Aryan then, rather than just a white man. Just go full on.
I was really shocked, and I don't know who this is for.
I don't either, man. I was.
It's rated very R. I mean, there's mostly nudity in it. There's.
Aren't they supposed to be college kids?
I can't. High school, I think.
Wow.
No,
I mean, it's like if you're growing up. I mean, Scooby Doo was fun when you were a little kid.
Is Scooby Doo even in it?
No. Nope. I don't understand. I mean, this is very adult, and adults are not going to want to watch this. I had no interest in it, and it's not for kids because there's too much stuff in there that they shouldn't see. So I looked at the Google score, and I was like, even on Google with the ratings, they do in the searches, it was like the bars, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 star ratings, and you have the graph, and the graph of the number one was all and all the others are just like one yellow pixel.
Brilliant.
I'm like going, what? I don't understand what these execs are doing, or what they're so afraid of, or why they want to piss off the audience, or why they're throwing money at things that will clearly not make them money.
Did you see Razor Fist video from a few weeks ago where he argued it's go broke then go woke? Did you guys catch that video?
Yeah, I did, and I saw. I think he had some points there. I have to refresh me on it. But he was like, "This is not a bug. This is a feature of wrecking everything." But I'm like, people are turning away from it. They're canceling Disney. They're canceling their stuff. I don't see how it's sustainable. I guess I don't understand.
But they keep doing it though.
Yeah, they do.
I saw Screen Rant actually done. They sent a tweet. They've written an article, and apparently the show was review bombed. And
of course.
Like, come on, man.
You
can't keep blaming review bombing every time a woke piece of shit crashes. People
it's the children that are wrong.
Yeah.
It's
the.
I mean, I watched it. I didn't watch the trailer. I saw Velma was like a black lesbian. Shaggy is now black and called.
No.
There's no Scooby doing it.
Velma is not black. She is a Latinx.
Oh, really?
Actually, I think she's Indian.
Indian,
because
that's
she's
right,
Mindy
'cause-
Kaling.
Yeah, that's
Mindy
right.
Kaling stand-in.
Right.
She's a I think there's a term for that, Matt. I can't for the life of me.
I don't know.
I don't either. It seems like I've heard on these crazy far right wing websites like Telegram, there's a term for that, but I would not know such a thing myself.
Well,
Daphne's Chinese as well or something, isn't there?
yeah, redheaded Chinese person.
Oh yeah, the most natural thing in the world, a redheaded Asian,
Irish Asian.
Yeah. It's Chung O'Malley.
Well, I was listening to Drinker the other day. They were like, when we first hear about these things that they're going to reboot some product, we come up with these insanely for jokes, they'll probably make her a lesbian, they'll probably make him black, they'll probably do. It's like they actually did that. Like the things that we make fun of, they actually do those things, and you go, okay. I mean, the lack of self-awareness, I guess, or they're just so in a bubble. Of course they made all these changes. Of course they did all these check boxes. I'm not even mad anymore. I'm just kind of like going, I'm just waiting for, the pin has been pulled on the grenade. I'm just waiting for it to go off at this point.
Well, they've already ruined everything that we love the most. So at this point, like, what do we even care what they do with everybody else's favorite property anymore? And I don't say
actually want them
I'm not trying to be mean. It's just like, well, we're already like the battered wife. So what do we care what happens to them?
No,
I want them to do more of it though. Do more.
Me too.
Soon it'll end.
Accelerate. Yeah.
Well, I'm waiting for them to do something where it's so contradictory that it makes so little sense that the racism just eats itself. And I'm thinking of something like the Beverly Hillbillies, like dumb, stupid rednecks, but you make them all Indian or something. It's like, it will be like a racism, singularity where it just blows up in everybody's face.
We're starting to see that though already, but it's starting in the gay community with the trans and stuff. They're already like eating each other, and like the gay women are angry at the trans women because they're claiming to be women and lesbians, and
who are angry at the feminists.
Yeah.
So
I saw the male Miss Universe, the trans Miss Universe.
Oh yeah. And
I'm thinking, well, isn't this another guy taking a woman's job? Are you going to tell me about the pay gap again? Would you support this?
Men proving once again that they're so superior, they're even better at being women than women are.
Apparently. I mean, all of it just, I'm not even mad anymore. I'm just getting to the point where I'm going, this is, you just want to get the popcorn out. You just want to see what the final, it's like when you watch a disaster, like a Roland Emmerich disaster movie, you want to see everything just, Statue of Liberty, everything just get destroyed at this point, or the White House. It's like, that's why I wait for everything to just finally explode in this big giant ball of wokeness.
Aren't you grateful though that with at our age that we've grown up with all the stuff that we've grown up with, and we've got that massive back catalogue that we can just go back to every time, and we don't even have to pay attention to any of this stuff.
Yeah, luckily,
that's true. And one of the things I've been noticing on some different channels is that I'm seeing people that are because really you get on there and you like anything in the last 10 years. I mean, how much of it is really rewatchable? Like all the stuff that we grew up with. You could put it in and you could put in Die Hard anytime. You can watch it. You'll be perfectly happy.
Yep.
Yeah. You can't. I mean, how much of the stuff even the stuff that you say is really good, and some of the stuff that I've said is really good, do I really want to rewatch it? It's like it's not those kinds of movies where I just want to go in and rewatch it. So people are like going, well, I got to find something to watch. And so I'm seeing all this stuff where people are finding stuff from like the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and kind of rediscovering some of the golden age of Hollywood. I find that kind of fascinating that there is a young group of people that are kind of finding stuff that is much older and much different from a different era and a different way of thinking they're connecting with, and I'm more power to them. I hope that becomes a trend and continues, because it's like,
you know what I think that is though, Yoda. I think because the people that were initially this whole woke thing, they're obviously getting older now and more mature, and they're realizing that the world isn't as they've been led to believe it is on Twitter and on the news, and things are actually a lot different. I think they are turning to the past to realize that actually things weren't as bad as they've been told. Things are actually 10 times better than what they are now.
Well,
that seems optimistic to me. I don't know.
You've got to leave it home.
It might be optimistic, but I think there's always kind of a snapback with these things sometimes. But, you look at, like, Avatar 2, and it's just empty. In the end, it's just totally empty. And you're not going to go rewatch that.
I've seen friends on Facebook, and even this broad that I've known since high school was like, Avatar 2 is so wonderful. Oh my God. And I said, it's literally the same movie set in water. No, it's not. Have you ever... Wait a minute, let me get that. No, it's not. Have you ever seen the original movie? And I was like, is this satire? Are you being funny? Is this a joke? No, it's not a joke. It's a great movie. What are you talking about?
It's pretty hard to understand her with all that corporate dick in her mouth, isn't it?
Yeah, Avatar show's shite.
I can't believe
it's making so much money though.
Is it? I thought it went like
lost.
It. Oh, is it? Did it have a temporary
coin in it?
Oh God,
Mankind was a mistake.
Man, I used to really like James Cameron so much, or at least his work. Now I wish that. Never mind.
Oh, he's on empty. But I mean, that's my point. It's like all this woke stuff. It's just so empty. All of it is so empty. And it doesn't have any lasting appeal or any lasting value.
Well, even if Avatar 2 was zero woke, it's still. It has nothing to stand on.
No. Well, I mean, it's. I called it boomer woke, right? Because it's not like dealing with pronouns; it's dealing with wailing, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But,
it really that's it is like racism bad, wailing bad, environment good.
Yeah.
Hole in the ozone layer, am I right?
Yeah. Native Americans, the ocean. Yeah. All the woke are calling, hey, we've moved on to pronouns.
Yoda,
come on.
Yoda. It's not Native Americans. Use the prop.
What is it?
Indigenous losers. I've told you this.
I walked into it. All right, so I did really want to talk a little bit about the Eddie Murphy rule that Stark mentioned. So I thought this was an interesting bit of Hollywood history. Now, those of you who've seen Trading Places, and if you haven't,
titties.
What the hell? What's wrong with you? But they do talk about the ending. Now, at the ending, I think a lot of people find a little incomprehensible because they sell a bunch of stuff and at really high, and then the thing comes out and all the prices drop, and then they think they buy it all back really cheap, and you're like, how is this making money? So what happens is that Clarence Beeks is tasked with getting a hold of an advanced copy of a government report on the orange crop. Winthorpe and Valentine intercept the crop report before the Duke brothers see it. The report says the orange crop is strong, so the price of OJ could be reasonably expected to fall. They substitute the report with a fake one, saying the crop was bad, so scarcity would cause the price to rise. This means the Duke brothers have bad information. So they're going to start buying because they believe it's going to go up past what they buy. Now, what he doesn't tell you in here is that when Murphy and Aykroyd go in, one of the things right before that, he says, I have all my, here's my life savings. Please take care of it. Jamie Lee Curtis, they all take their life savings in. They have already bought the futures before the market opens. They already have a set of futures ready to sell. All right. Mm-hmm. And then when the price starts going up, because they know that what's happening is the Dukes, because they're so big, they are affecting the market by making these big purchases, and everybody else, there's a lot of FOMO, and so they go, okay, well, we got to buy too because the Dukes are buying. They must know something, and so they do, and all that buying causes the price to go up, as Aykroyd and Murphy thought it would. And then when it gets to 142, they say they'll sell their futures that they have, and so then they sell them. Everybody buys up all their contracts at 142, and then when the market collapses because the orange crop is doing fine, they buy it all back at 30, and so they get to keep the profits. I do some of this on the crypto market. It's kind of the same deal. I short Bitcoin, which means I borrow some Bitcoin and then I sell it at, I don't know, $20,000. And then when the price goes down to 16, I buy it all back.
None of this is
and
financial.
Then return it. None of this is financial advice, but I mean, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
If you long something, what you're doing is you're borrowing cash, and then you buy the Bitcoin at a low price and wait for it to go high and then sell it off again and then pay back the cash. So that's basically what they were doing. What I found interesting in this is that because of this movie, that's how they came up with the law about insider trading, that you can't insider trade it, and they call it the Eddie Murphy rule. So I don't know. I thought it was a bit of interesting Hollywood history, and I don't know where Stark comes up with these, but he does a great job.
We should also mention that they still do it, and it goes on every day, and markets are manipulated, and nobody nobody like us is ever going to get rich from it. And
well, you will if you follow the Nancy Pelosi Reddit page. Just do what she does, and then you'll make millions and millions on a government salary.
Millions and millions of legitimately earned, completely legal dollars that are both safe and effective.
Please don't ban us, YouTube. So,
speaking just as an aside, I was looking at a report just Friday about the inflation and credit card rates and the interest rate being rose, and it dawned on me that there's people right now that are paying interest on like a cheeseburger they bought a year ago, because they use their credit card to just buy food. And there's people because it's like what 20% interest rate right now, I think.
Well, it depends on which interest rate you're talking about. I mean, you start with the bank Fed rate, which I think is at
I'm talking about average credit card.
Yeah, but I mean, you start with that, and then
guys,
they tack on more and more, and it's how it goes.
I have to leave for just a second. I've got to answer a text here that's I cannot avoid. So close me out, and I'll be right back.
His mom's got cancer. That went dark really quick, didn't it?
Really fucking dark. Oh dear. No, I'll be honest with you, I don't understand any of that cryptocurrency and all these market shares. It just goes well over my head.
Yeah, it's interesting to me. I think what I like most about it is that they did their homework, They actually understood the market and did it in a way that was reasonable. Unlike when I see anything them doing something with technology or computers and everything, and it's basically just Hugh Jackman sitting at a computer like he's directing an orchestra, doing all this shit, and I've broken into the Pentagon. It's like, okay, stop.
Yep.
It just makes me nuts. So yeah, it's interesting stuff. Matt, are you aware that Michael Bay is wanted for pigeon moitering?
He's murderer.
I think I misspelled that.
Murder. Yes, I am. He has come out and said it's all ludicrous, though. But who do you believe? Who cares?
Really?
He killed a pigeon.
Is it ludicrous? I can't believe that the press might have overplayed their hand on something like this. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I just want to say for the record, my mom has been suffering from breast cancer. That was not very funny at all to me.
oh, suddenly when it's you, we can't go dark. Is that what you're saying?
No, you can say and make any joke you want to. I'm just saying I personally didn't find it funny.
As he's laughing.
I'm just glad my mommy doesn't watch these streams.
Yeah. If she really has cancer, I'm sorry, Mrs. John.
She does, but that's okay. You didn't.
All right.
You're not cancer.
That would be the one time I go dark. It's like, well, she really does have cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She died at Christmas.
And you wonder why I stay normie.
I only brought it up because I knew it'd make you feel bad.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Cheers.
So apparently, Michael Bay was filming something in Italy, and
They're the same now. Anyway. It doesn't matter.
I guess a boom mic. I'm trying to figure out where it said. Bay has been charged with the death of a homing pigeon while shooting 6 Underground in Rome during 2018. Oh my God, that's like 5 years ago now.
Who cares? The pigeon's natural lifespan probably wasn't 5 years.
The report says a homing pigeon was alleged to have been killed by a dolly in the middle of a take in Rome. So a dolly is the thing on wheels on a track, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So what did they tie the thing to a track and have a guy with a mustache,
twirling his mustache?
Pigeons all tied. Save me, Dudley Do Right. Michael Bay's there with the camera. Smush.
Yeah. That is the most absurd thing. Like people don't accidentally hit birds in their car or, man.
But, Yoda, if you go up for me, has he come out and said about I'm a well-known animal lover. Do you know what? Why didn't these people just turn around and go, I didn't kill a pigeon, and even if I did, who cares? And just leave it at that. Just leave it as that. Don't even give these people the time of day. It's a pigeon 5 years ago.
Well, he has clear video evidence, multitude of witnesses and safety officers that exonerates us from this claim. This is a thing that's going to have to go through courts. You know what? This is clearly the lawyers need money.
Yeah. So who is this? Italy, or is Italy mad about
That's
this?
what they're saying. Yeah.
This is such a European moment. I'm telling you, only in Europe would anybody give a shit to the point that they were bringing like legal charges or something about.
Yeah, but
this.
we generally don't give a shit anyway. It's a dirty little.
I know. Alec Baldwin can blow a woman away, and then go on TV and talk about it.
Yeah,
allegedly, and Michael Bay can accidentally kill a pigeon, and they're
a disease-ridden rat with wings, and oh my God, everybody loses their mind.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, it's ridiculous.
Was it a free range? Was it a free range pigeon though?
That was a homing pigeon.
Oh,
homing pigeon, which I actually think they're quite expensive, aren't they? Homing pigeons?
I think they are. Yeah. They used those in World War I.
They did.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had to stop in World War II because they kept getting sucked into the propellers. I don't even know what that means. All right. We talked about Tulsa King. Rest in peace, Lisa Marie Presley.
The woman that will always be remembered as the only chick in the world to bang Michael Jackson, allegedly.
No, she married Michael Jackson.
Allegedly.
We can't prove that there was any consummation.
Well, they had babies, didn't they?
No.
Did they?
No.
Is that where his? I mean, it could have been art. Jackson was a weirdo. It could have been artificial insemination or something. Who knows?
No, he did have kids, but it was with wasn't she like a midwife or something? She wasn't. It wasn't Presley's missus.
Oh, I did not know that. It's been so long.
No, it wasn't. Jesus, can you imagine how talented that kid would be? Half Jackson, half Presley.
Probably
that's what talented little dude.
No, it would be like the least talented human being.
Yeah, I don't know.
Baldwin or retarded.
Yeah, like 4 foot tall, bald, can't sing, can't dance, can't play an instrument, can't play basketball, can't even do math.
It's just a walking ball of infantile. It's so sad.
No, she didn't have kids by Michael. I think they was only married for about 2 months or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it was short, wasn't it?
Do we know what it was? I mean, was it drugs? I heard
no, it was climate change, obviously.
it's climate change, yeah.
But it was a heart attack. But of course, everyone's banding on that. Her family have got a history of heart attacks. She's got a history of drug abuse. Blah 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 blah. Everything but the obvious.
Yeah, it was drug abuse. All right, it was a drug that Pfizer makes that's been very abused lately.
No, that's allegedly. We don't have any proof of that. Don't bring us YouTube.
Allegedly, I meant to say, or I mean, as something that a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist wacko would say.
Yeah,
none of us would ever make that correlation.
It's a completely 100% safe medication.
I recommend.
Even though it was. You only need a year to test these things or less. It's not really necessary. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I've had 5 booster shots this week.
That's right. I've got some syringes sticking out of my ass right now.
Look at
Sean's 15. It has no ill effects at all.
Yeah,
that's right. I don't know. I mean, I've seen like my wife is kind of. My wife is kind of broken up over it and everything. I'm like going. I really had to think. I was like, there are like 3 times I could think of her being in the news. One was when she married Michael Jackson. The other was when she divorced Michael Jackson. And then when she died. That's it. I mean, so she was a singer. It's like I couldn't name one song that she did. I know she was famous for being Elvis's daughter, but it's like
I did not know she was a singer at all. I really didn't know that until
I didn't know either until I read the obit. And don't get me wrong, I'm like I didn't want her to die or anything. It sucks. She's awfully young and all that, but it just. I mean, she's famous for being Elvis's daughter, and it's just kind of weird to me how people are really broken up over it. I'm like going, I kind of got when you're broken up over Olivia Newton-John. She like had some real contributions to the entertainment world for years, but I don't get this.
The real question is, Matt, would you have smained Lisa Marie Presley
in the 90s?
Yeah.
Not the recent pictures, right? Jesus, no.
What about you?
Yeah, but what now? Maybe now.
Now that she's
she's dead.
Now that she's a room temperature, Yoda.
Slide her out that drawer, it's kind of hot.
I always thought
Jeffrey Dahmer.
She always looked too much like Elvis to me, And I looked at her, I was like, oh, she looks like her dad. So weird.
When? In the 70s or in the 50s?
Well, I mean, she probably looks like her dad now, but.
Well, you can really see the resemblance.
Her mum was a good-looking woman back in the day, though. In those naked.
Yeah, I mean, Priscilla did more on her own than Lisa did. Yeah. I mean, at the very least, those Naked Gun movies, and I think she was maybe on Dallas or something.
The best movie that she was ever in, and I'm saying this completely unironically, and in fact, I intend to do a review of the movie once SHOT show's over, and I can get back to it. But The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, I love that movie.
Never heard of it.
Oh, you know
Lisa or Priscilla was in that?
Yeah, she was in it. She's the one
Lisa was.
No, Priscilla.
Oh, Priscilla. I don't remember her in that.
She's the one that hires him initially to find her sister.
Okay.
Yeah, Andrew Dice Clay is a private detective, Matt, and it's so much fun. It's so much
What's
fun.
It called? Say again?
The Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Right, okay. I'll have a little look.
I watched it recently. That is clearly, like, I kind of enjoyed it mostly because I remember seeing it back in the day when he was really a big deal, and I remember enjoying it then. I watched it again. I was like, it's not very good, but I'm kind of enjoying it.
No, it's a lot of fun. Now, I'm not saying it's a great movie as in like it's art, but it's very much of its time. It's a very much the end of the 80s, start of the 90s, and it just it just reeks of that time period. It's like if you want a reminder of what that time was like 1990, 91, what was it? Yeah. Oh, dude, especially it was like the big hair metal was still a thing. The big, and the girls with the big hair.
Gilbert Gottfried almost never doing his voice.
Yeah,
being pretty quieter than usual.
Yeah, it's got a lot of cameos in it.
That freaked me out, actually. Sorry, Sean. When Gilbert died, I didn't realise that wasn't his real voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What if I had something in this hand right here? And then it made you forget about that ticket in this hand. You were just like, what is this? What is that? I don't know.
You didn't think that was his real voice? Do you have any idea what it would take to maintain that all day? It's just no. Oh, look, I got a thing here. I'm just going to die from that surprise. Oh my God! What a parking ticket! That's my wife's car.
You
bitch.
I gotta be honest. I often cross my mind. How could anyone ever live with someone with a voice like that? But obviously,
I do that for 5 seconds. I'm like, going, I need a break. I need water. I can't. Yeah. I'm not even very good at it.
No, it's good to me.
That was the best. That was the best scene in that movie too. By the way.
Oh, Beverly Hills Cop 2?
Yeah.
That's another one that's like not very good, but I really enjoy it.
I love it.
It's fun.
I love it.
Yeah, it doesn't have as good a plot as the first one. It's a little and some of the stuff like that police chief is just way too obvious and stupid, and it's just I don't like that. But the rest of it, Murphy's fun. It's enjoyable. I kind of dig it.
It feels more I think it feels more like an 80s movie than the original does too, for some reason.
Yeah, it definitely has that Michael Bay, Jerry Bruckheimer feel to it, you know.
Yeah.
Or I guess Tony Scott directed that one.
Tony Scott, yeah. I didn't realize that till I put it on.
Yeah, I think he did.
Oh yeah, now that you say that, I don't know why like it's got all of the, it just screams Tony Scott.
Yeah.
Sweaty dark rooms with blinds.
Yeah, I love that, man. I loved his aesthetic.
A lot of smoky, dusty interiors.
I tell you what, boys. The wrong Scott died. The wrong Scott committed suicide. I stand by that. I stand by that too.
No way.
Can't they just both live? Would that be all right?
No,
nice.
Ridley Scott should be dead. For the things he's inflicted on the Alien franchise alone, he deserves to seppuku himself. I'm just saying.
I'm the dark one here.
Have you guys seen Robin Hood with Russell Crowe? Come on, man.
I couldn't get through it.
No, he does some. This is the problem with Ridley Scott. He's either masterclass or dog shit.
What was the last masterclass movie he made? And be honest.
Gladiator, maybe.
Okay, 2099. Okay.
I need to look up. Let me look up because I'm sure there was something more recent than that.
Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, that was 2004.
No, that was like 2001.
Oh, you might be right. It might be 99. That's right, because it was about Somalia. So it would have been. Yeah, you might be right. It's been a while since
The Last Duel. Apparently, that's supposed to be good.
What? Oh,
The Last Duel.
No. Boring.
Okay.
Those just.
The Martian. The Martian was good.
That's debatable.
I don't mind The Martian. I quite liked Alien Covenant though, up till the ending.
Yeah, I mean, I have a.
It's worth watching just to see Jossie Smet get it in the shower.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've got mixed feelings on it. It's a serviceable Alien movie, but it's not. It doesn't reach the level of Alien or Aliens, you know.
No, but then they really are the pinnacle. Alien is the pinnacle, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I was talking to my girlfriend last night about that. She asked me if I preferred Alien or Aliens, and I said that I think Alien is a superior movie until the alien bursts out the chest, and then it just becomes a slasher movie. It's pretty kind of by the numbers after that. But before that, it's a masterclass of like stuff we've never seen before. So I kind of prefer Aliens because it's a mishmash of genres and it's consistent all the way through. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean both of them are classics, and they're just such totally different. They're almost totally different genres. The one's an action movie, and the other one's a haunted house movie in a lot of ways, or a slasher movie.
Okay. This has to be addressed. Hammond in the chat says whining about Ridley Scott because the Alien franchise is such a basic Redditor shit. Okay, so instead of that, why don't I bring up? Oh gosh, any of the dog shit he's made since The Martian. How about all of that crap?
House of Gucci?
Dog shit.
That was dog shit. That was terrible. I'm a big Ridley Scott fan, but I admit he's 50-50, but I think he's the stuff that he's done that he's good, he's so good.
He
gets a pass on the shit.
He's a feast or famine guy, isn't he? Like when it's good, it's really good, and when it's bad, it's really bad.
No, it's not. It's not that. It's just that he lost it, right? Just like John Carpenter, right? He could do no wrong up until a certain point, and then he's just made. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
What makes you think that these directors keep? I mean, because Ridley Scott's got to be 80 now. You know, we spoke about James Cameron earlier, that he's lost it. You mentioned what was his name? You just said from the thing.
Oh, John Carpenter.
John Carpenter.
What makes these people go? Do you think it's just like a drug? They reach such heights that they can't let it go? Because from my perspective, if I'd reached such heights, I'd want to go out on a high. I'd be like, you know what? I
think that way back when Red Letter Media called it with George Lucas, when you watch the behind the scenes of like the Phantom Menace and everything, everybody's just frightened of him because you make this thing that is so unbelievable and amazing. But when you're making it at the time and nobody knows it, everybody treats you like just any other up and coming director, and you are pressured and pushed, and you have people pushing back on you, and you have that collaboration that's going on where, you know, if you have bad ideas, that people are willing to say, that's a bad idea, you need to do this, this, and this. But once you have that big one, once you have a couple of those big ones, I mean, I think Peter Jackson is another example of this with The Hobbits, that now that you've had this, you've had all these accolades and and people that were with you, they've gone on to their own things. And so, you're getting in new young people that are just frightened to death of you, just hero worship you, will say yes to anything you do because you're the guy who created Star Wars. You're the guy who created The Thing. You're the guy that created Alien, blah, 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 blah. I think they just get really up their own ass, and they don't have somebody pushing back on them saying, look, we know what you did, but that doesn't mean that what you're doing now isn't a bad idea. Nobody has the guts to tell them that. I think it's really just that simple.
They lose that like young, hungry, I got something to say thing too. And in the case of John Carpenter, I think it was a string of brilliant masterclass movies that were not well received at the time, and I think it just kind of killed him a bit inside. You know what I mean? And
I've noticed there's been a lot of resurgence in looking back at things like Prince of Darkness and stuff like that, saying, wait a minute, this is pretty good. And I mean, there's some directors that are always good. Yeah, I mean, say what you want about Spielberg. I mean, I wasn't that big a fan of The Fabelmans, but I mean, and he makes much smaller, more serious movies, but they all seem to be relatively competent and good. Whether your enjoyment may vary, but they're not bad movies.
Well, yeah,
Scorsese has hardly ever made a bad movie. He just keeps going.
There's a difference between a competent, serviceable movie and like the art that they've achieved in the past. You judge them by their past standard. They set the bar, and then you're like, dude, you didn't hit it. And like a smaller movie is one thing, but there's like, the guy who made Big Trouble in Little China also made Escape from L.A. I mean, you kidding me?
Well, that's my point. I'm saying that Spielberg has made smaller movies, but he hasn't made complete dog shit incompetent movies.
But they're not.
I guess Ready Player One maybe, but
they're
I don't
not.
know.
But even the smaller movies aren't great, though. I don't think. You know what I mean?
They're pretty good. I mean, it's not. Yeah, is he making another Raiders? Is he making something? No, but I'm just saying. And the same with Scorsese. I mean, I just don't see him making dog shit like what Ridley has been making, or what George Lucas or some of these other guys have been making.
Scorsese's pretty. He's pretty consistent.
Cameron with these avatars. I mean, Jesus, you know.
It's like, I mean, Ridley Scott's 85. I mean, what makes him? Yeah, he's earned a fortune. Surely you want to be at that age. You want to be sitting back and enjoying retirement.
Maybe Quentin.
Why would you still want to be doing it?
Yeah, I mean, listen. Maybe Quentin. Regardless of your feelings about Quentin Tarantino movies, maybe he's right, man. 10 and done before you lose it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, why not go? I mean, whatever your favorite director is, maybe you want more all the time. Of course you do, right? But there's a point of diminishing returns where like they've lost it. I'd rather, I would rather them end it, and you could always be like, oh man, but still, you got this perfect catalog, as opposed to just trash shit. Like actors, it's the same with actors. they do all this stuff, and then you get like, you know, and of course we know now that Bruce Willis had a thing, but let's just assume Bruce Willis is completely healthy, and you know, you just see this just degrading, you know, and you're like, oh God, look at all this trash, you know, and these directors do that, and
I don't know. I think Hammond has a point, like, you know, summing up an entire guy's career by the trash movies he makes. I suppose there's something to that, but there's also
wait a minute.
Wait. I got something to say. Just give me a second.
Okay. Yeah.
But Matt, what you said, I think, kind of resonates, and I think this isn't more than just film directors. I think this is like across the board. This boomer generation, or just before the boomer generation, the silent generation, who just won't let go and just retire and just stop. You know, from congressmen to newspaper people to media people, they just hang on to this shit forever, and they won't stop, you know, doing it, and to their own detriment, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's going to get to the stage where people will only remember the late shits rather than the genius early stuff. And to me, again, I'm not in the industry, you know, I don't really have an ego or anything like this. It doesn't bother me, but I just find it weird how you would tarnish such great work by just not going, do you know what, I'm going to call it a day. I'm 85. I'm responsible for Blade Runner and Gladiator and Alien and blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to go out on a high and just go, thank you very much, everyone. It's been great. And maybe even spend your time nurturing new young talent.
I mean, there was a ton of...
Scott's lined up for about another 5 films. And John Williams, apparently he's not retiring now. He's like, man, you're 90-odd years old.
I mean, he's probably one of
the last 10 years.
He's probably one of those dudes that if he quits, he'll die, you know?
Yeah, to be fair, Williams has never made a bad score, so I mean, and I'm not seeing that.
That's true. But you know what? If this, it's like Hammond says, don't making one bad movie doesn't tarnish past work. Let me just say this: have you ever heard the joke about you build 1,000 beautiful bridges and nobody remembers you as a bridge builder? You suck one guy's cock. I rest my case.
Well, I think it's an interesting topic because you like I remember, like, I've been going into some of these older movies and I'll check out some of these actors and actresses from these very classic movies, and they will go on for some time and then they just retire in their 40s or 50s and just kind of let the next generation come at it. This was kind of normal, and now these old people that I mean Harrison Ford is 80. He's doing another Indiana Jones. Like, why?
Yeah.
You know, it's so.
And at one time,
and Red Hulk as well. Apparently, he's lined up to spearhead a Red Hulk Marvel TV show.
I mean, on the other hand, I really love him in 1923.
Yeah.
But it seems like an age appropriate kind of role and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's the difference. You know, it's I don't know, man. It's weird with him. At one time, I thought that Harrison Ford was like the guy that was like kind of a gatekeeper of quality control of the, you know, Indiana Jones. You know what I mean? Because he talked like that in the past. Like, no, I'm not going to do some dog shit movie. And then
Crystal Skull came.
A Steven Spielberg movie, I should
He's
add.
fallen out of a fridge after a nuke. It's like, well, I guess that's out the window. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's the Hollywood execs just cashing in on all this nostalgia all the time and throwing these truckloads of money. I don't know what it is.
But that's the thing, though. Again, Harrison Ford, let's find out what his net worth is. But how much is it? I mean, Harrison Ford is, what we saying, 80-odd now?
I don't believe any of this is for money. Not these guys at this level. I don't think they're doing it for money anymore. I think there's something.
You know, it's called the backroom casting couch.
But it can't be for legacy.
You would need the money for the medication to get it up, right?
He's definitely got the money for that, though.
Yeah.
Right, he's worth $300 million, and he's 80 years old, and he's got a back catalogue that includes Blade Runner, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, The Fugitive, if you want to shut that in.
You know what?
It doesn't need to work. Doesn't need to work. Doesn't need the money. He's 80 years old. He's probably at most got 20 years left in him.
Well, I mean,
enjoy, man. You just ruin your legacy at this stage.
Well, I mean, I would not say 1923 is ruining his legacy. I think that's,
but
that's
if
a great
Indiana
part.
Jones
He's doing a great job. Indiana Jones 5, yeah, you kind of like going,
bad as what they're saying. They're just going to go, fuck you.
Listen, it comes down to this, right? These guys have got huge, gigantic egos that we can't even comprehend to understand. Guys with egos like that make you want to be a movie star, they're not going to stop, right? They're always going to want to do that. There's no, they're not normal people. Their brains don't operate the way we do. So you just got to chalk it. Yeah, you just got to chalk it up to like the kind of personality that wants to do that as a job is the kind of person that's never going to quit until they're either run out of the business or locked up or dead. So
maybe.
I think they quit, they'll die.
Yeah,
that's when we get to that stage.
Hey, look, if you want to do what you love and you really love it, and that's it makes you happy. You might have begrudged them from doing that, but on the other hand, it's like I just whatever discernment they may have had. Sometimes I think that something is overriding that.
Yeah,
and you end up with Crystal Skull or Dial of Destiny or the Hobbit films.
It is weird that they continue to want to do it, but their ability to like discern quality goes out the window. Or maybe it's just because they get that old, they aren't offered these, so they have to take it,
Well, it's certainly when you get to a certain age, you don't want to feel like you're no longer useful or viable or something anymore, that nobody cares about you. I mean, I think there's something to that. Maybe
all three
part of it.
All three of us know what that feels like.
Yeah, I had that happen in my 30s, so Yeah, once you get used to it, it's kind of freeing.
Yeah, it's very freeing. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess this is a bigger topic that we're going to solve here. But
just one more thing, then, because we're looking at Stallone's talking about retiring from acting and going behind the camera. I mean, he's 80 years old.
Yeah,
he doesn't seem to feel the need to keep doing stuff.
Well, that's because he's like, all the testosterone steroids he takes is finally taking their toll, and he's like, I can't keep going on the screen looking like this. I've got tits. I've got these testosterone titties now.
Yeah, true. And he can barely walk anymore.
I think he looks pretty good in the show. The only thing that distracts me is he's got those Nancy Pelosi eyebrows now. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
Hey, look, if I look as good as him at 80, then I'm going to be a happy man. I look like shit now, and I'm not even 50.
I know. We all look worse than he does, and we're a happy state.
Rick and Morty co-creator pleads not guilty. Justin Roiland has been reported to be facing domestic violence charges in California. The voice actor on the much-loved adult animated series Rick and Morty was offered a plea deal, but he rejected, and pleaded not guilty. It's hard to overstate how inaccurate the recent media coverage of this situation has been. Oh, inaccurate media coverage? Who would have thought that could be a possibility?
Shocking.
Not me.
To be clear, not only is Justin innocent, but we have every expectation that this matter is on course to be dismissed once the district attorney's office has completed its methodical review of the evidence. We look forward to clearing Justin's name and helping him move forward as swiftly as possible. Now, the reason why I wanted to mention this one is when I see a guy like fight it like this, knowing that it's going to cost him an arm and a leg and all that kind of stuff, it immediately kind of harkens me back to the whole Johnny Depp thing. Mm-hmm. And I begin to look. I don't know Justin Roiland. I don't know. I haven't heard anything in particular about him, so I couldn't tell you.
He's a shit.
He might be. I mean, he's a complete shit.
He's defended borderline pedophilia online.
Given his crassness with Rick and Morty, which I do love that show, but I mean, I could see that, so I don't want to defend him as a person or anything, but I get skeptical when I immediately start getting skeptical when I start seeing a lot of stories saying he's guilty or insinuating that these guys are guilty. Because I look back at the Johnny Depp thing, I was like, what a shit show that turned out to be, right? Now, Depp is a piece of shit, too. I mean, quite frankly. But not about this.
He's from Kentucky. He's from Kentucky.
Yeah, so he had a little bit more because Amber Heard was from hell. And I mean, she was worse than he was, right? So, yes, he had two terrible people, but one of them was a little worse. And so then these guys, they get famous, they get, people try to get a quick buck off them or try to get a name off them. And I just, he may be guilty. I have no idea. I really don't know.
Morty, I had to do it, Morty. She just kept running her mouth, Morty. I had to do it. You don't understand, Morty. I had to hit her. I had to hit her to shut her up, Morty.
Jeez, Rick.
Morty. I had to hit her, Morty. Your mom, Morty. She just quit running her mouth. Morty, you gotta
making me uncomfortable.
I
don't like
the
this.
whole world's against me, Morty. But you're my.
I don't want to bury another hooker. Leave me alone, Rick. Why can't you just be a good grandpa? Jeez.
Morty. We're gonna beat these women, Morty. We're gonna make them be quiet.
We're
gonna make them be quiet, Morty.
This is.
Gotta do a burp, Sean. Do a burp.
I can't. I was trying to, but I couldn't produce it. That was a good bit. That might be one.
It was good.
That's a Sean and Yoda comedy moment for you.
Good, yeah. We immediately ruined it by pointing out what a good bit it was, but that was completely spontaneous.
Cut that bit out.
Yeah, that'll make it. Yeah, you got a Monday's upload for the channel right there.
I could tell it was working when Matt started reading his phone going, Jesus, fuck.
Fucking Americans.
I thought it was funny.
It was good, gentlemen. It was very good.
Thank you, man. That means a lot.
But yeah, seriously, though, I mean, for fighting back, though, you're dead right. Enough's enough. I mean, because we've got, obviously, is that a domestic abuse case, the Rick and Morty one?
Yeah, I guess he's being charged with what was it saying? One felony count of domestic battery with corporal injury and one felony count of false imprisonment by menace, violence, fraud, and or deceit. I don't know what the fuck that means, you know?
That doesn't sound like something that would even be against the law in California to me. That sounds like something that half the state would be in jail for.
Sounds like a requirement before you're allowed to live there.
Yeah. I'll put you on the show if you suck my dick.
Yeah.
Didn't put her on the show.
Sarah, book me one ticket to America. No, good for him fighting back, because obviously we've got on the sexual side of things. Obviously, Kevin Spacey was found innocent against that albino from
Finally, justice has prevailed.
But he's up in court over here in the UK on some other charges.
Really?
At the moment. Yeah, he's facing them, but he's fighting it. So, again, innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, I mean,
he's gay though. That's different.
Found guilty or not guilty in a court is not necessarily the same as actually have done the deed. Let's talk O.J. Simpson.
Well, yeah, true. But then you could,
Listen. We all know that O.J. did it allegedly, but the real question is, his wife was cheating on him or was having an affair with another dude, driving around O.J.'s car, spending O.J.'s money. I'm not saying that what he did was right. I'm just saying that it was morally correct.
Hey, you cut the bitch's neck. I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah.
You could divorce her, I guess. No? Okay.
It was.
I don't know. I don't find anything a woman could do to me but would be worth prison, the loss of my entire life, and ending up on the news in a white Bronco with a gun to my head. It's like, I'll just divorce you.
What if she burned your dinner? That's enough, right?
Wow. Hey. You didn't say nothing about dinner.
You're crossing the line now. You're crossing the line. Listen, my little lady just bought me a cup of tea out.
I know it.
So
yeah, she's probably been listening. Oh, fuck, some tea.
Those beatings from years ago are finally paying off.
Matt's marriage has improved so much since he started doing these live streams, and his wife's been overhearing the anti-women things we say on here.
I took my rings off before I struck her.
You're very thoughtful.
She's just grateful now.
My wife's been getting away with murder since the price of cigarettes has gotten so high. I just can't afford to burn her with them like I used to. So,
well, you got to stick to cigars. They not only do they leave a bigger burn.
Yeah, I don't want to waste a good cigar like that. What's wrong with you?
Can't you just hold her hand over a gas stove or a gas stove's illegal yet?
No, they banned those now, Matt. We can
make the most of it over the next year.
No, see, gas prices are way too expensive. I can't be doing that shit.
Don't even start me on that one. It's outrageous over here. Mine's just I'm not going to bore off about it too much, but mine is nearly £500 a month.
That's insane, dude. That is insane.
They put it up by £200 on Boxing Day. I got an email on Boxing Day. I was like, thanks a fucking lot.
It reminds me of Dad saying he got the letter when he was drafted. It was like, "Good day, friends from your friends and neighbors. Congratulations." He was like, "Yeah, my friends and neighbors. Yeah, thanks, pals.
Cheers."
Well, I was going to devote some to the chats, but we don't have a ton of chats here. Hammond's probably pissed at all of us.
I don't care. He said something extraordinarily stupid, so he's lucky I didn't ban him.
That's good. Yeah, to alienate the audience is always.
Oh yeah, all the other things we say certainly doesn't alienate the audience.
This is the guy complains how the woke are alienating their audience, and then that's what he's doing. That's not a blueprint, Sean.
He knows I'm joking. I'm going to cyberbully him later on Twitter, but I would not ban him from the chat. Heidi popped in. I don't know what is she in like the waiting room or any chance?
I haven't seen her come to the action. I would see her, but she hasn't. She must popped in.
I guess she lost her nerve.
Yeah.
Perhaps she's fitting some wooden doors in the garage. She
probably is. She's probably. Yeah. I think she said something about some gold teeth or something earlier. She said a new shoe collection she had to get sorted.
She'll like get on with us, just three old guys telling her, "Take off your top." I don't blame her.
I tell you what, Phil using the Last Movie Outpost official Instagram account sure does like to react to her posts and anything she does. So I think we know the real reason Phil had to lay low for a little while now.
Yeah, Heidi's dad's looking for him.
Yeah.
Or his wife.
Yeah, his wife is what I was thinking, yeah.
I thought he'd be watching, so I was expecting a couple of little chats to come up.
He has no loyalty at all from the man. No loyalty at all.
Wow.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, I saw her. She said she was here, and then you gave her a link, and she's disappeared.
Yeah, it's all right. This is the No Girls Club anyway. This is the He-Man Woman Haters Club. So
He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Yeah,
He-Man Woman.
Yeah. Well, that was all the stories. Obviously, we get through these things a lot quicker when Phil in here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think we had a pretty interesting discussion about the directors losing, or something happened there. I thought that was kind of worthy of its own. That was kind of worthy of its own devoted show.
Yeah. And it's a quiet month as well. There's not much going on.
What about, I watched the first episode of that Mayfair Witches. Complete and utter dull as dog shit. Just,
oh, really?
Yeah, don't watch it. Like the whole Anne Rice universe thing they're trying to start, just dead on arrival, in my opinion, man. Dead on arrival.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's not like there aren't a lot of these properties that have these different tie-ins and different stories within the same universe that are already laid out there. I don't know why when they adapt it, they can't get this stuff figured out.
Well, they said it's like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's woke. It's, of course it's about witches. So, it's all about women's empowerment. Of course, fine. That's fine. But they made like the main character into like a total like degenerate slut. And,
what, Daddario? Alexandra Daddario?
Yeah. But it was just, I don't know, man. I was watching, I was like, something happened that matters, I lost complete interest in it. And I watched the whole thing and I can't tell you almost nothing about it.
That's a shame. I started watching Blonde the other day, the Marilyn Monroe thing, because I was really keen for it. Oh my God, it's so fucking terrible.
It is terrible, isn't it? Terrible.
I've just got up to the bit where she's married. Who's the actor with a big old nose?
That's
Pinocchio.
Adrian Brody.
She's just married him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm done with it. I've seen your tits enough times now. Just turn it off.
I tried to watch it. I couldn't get through the childhood scenes where she's with her mom. I was just like, it's not. I don't know if it's pacing or what it is. It's just not compelling.
It's not.
It's up its own arse. That's what it is.
Very much, very pretentious.
That may be.
You can imagine them all like patting each other on the back, calling each other darling after every show. It was magnificent.
Oh my, yeah.
I've never seen anyone cry with their tits out like you cried today, darling. Brilliant stuff.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Take 390.
450 miles of film roll.
It's my wife every day in the shower being married to me. I don't know what the problem is. It doesn't sound like that much of a stretch. I don't know.
You know what? I think she like looks terrible in it too. Like she does not like. I think
puffy.
And then she like lost too much weight or something compared to the way she is in other movies, and I don't know, man.
I don't know. Perhaps it's just the hairstyle didn't suit. I don't know, but I thought she looked puffy.
Yeah,
says Matt.
Well, it's okay. We're men. We can.
Says this weapon.
Yeah. Look at this specimen. Who better to judge a woman's appearance than me?
48 years old, wearing a fucking George McFly t-shirt, drinking a cup of tea.
A full Sigma male moment right there.
Hey, if anybody would know Doughy, it would be us.
Yeah, who knows better than what unattractive is than the
I'll
three
tell
men.
you what, ladies, look, I'm domesticated. I've put a coaster down for my tea.
Be careful, Matt. Your wife will have to beat him off of you with a stick after that. You should be like, honey, look at this. You should be thankful that I bothered to do this.
Comments be blowing up in a minute.
How we've managed to procreate, I have no idea.
I didn't used to look like this. That helps.
Father
time has not been kind.
Booze, Rehypnol, chloroform, the usual.
It was the usual. Marijuana, LSD, and alcohol.
You know what my best pickup lines have always been? 1, get in the car, bitch, or I'll cut you. 2, I make dead eye contact and I silently mouth the words, "I'm gonna fucking kill you" while rubbing my crotch. Works every time. Every time, boys.
It's amazing. It's amazing you're not married. It's a conundrum.
I just get this. This vision of after it's all over and you deposit her she's all bloody and crying and everything at her front door. It's like, so can I see you again?
Yeah.
Are we doing this again next week?
How about next time we do it consensually?
Yeah. I really had a great time.
I don't know. At least one half of us had a good time anyway. What's that old joke? 9 out of 10 participants love gang rape.
I was the one. Anyway,
going back to the backroom casting couch. Yoda recounts the time he tried Hollywood career.
It's the nut of it. I didn't even get the part. What a way to start out the year, guys. Thank you very much for watching. This has been another wonderful episode of Outpost Frequencies from lastmovieoutpost.com. You can reach us on Twitter at Movie Outpost. I am at Drunken Yoda 1. He is at Matt Eggy Wegs. And of course, we have at Boba Phil. Sean, have you been banned yet from Twitter? Or do you want me to start putting this in here?
No, I've not been banned yet.
Okay, what's your Twitter?
I got a ban.
At Kentucky Sean.
I got a ban the other day.
Yeah,
you got banned already?
He did.
I got a 12-hour ban because there's a woman over here, a celebrity, and to be honest with you, she's just an old whore. There's no other way. She had like 11 boob jobs and liposuction. She has a different fiance every other week, and now she's starting a new career. Get this, as a life coach. Right? So I tweeted, what is she going to be a life coach at? Teaching young girls how to be whores. And I got a 12-hour ban for it.
That's pretty good, though. That was worth it.
I did get a 12-hour ban as well. I was replying to something with the the WEF or something like that. And I says, yep, they want you to eat the bugs, live in the pod, and cut off your genitals. And they said, you are instructing people to self-mutilate. I'm like, what?
No. Really?
12-hour ban.
You know what?
No, I was speaking out against that, you smooth-brained idiots.
You know what? Now that the initial month or two of Elon Musk owning Twitter is over, it's a case of meet the new boss, same as the old. It really is.
I do. It happened too quick, so I think there's just a lot of old code they still need to work through.
Maybe. I got banned on there for Stephen King actually reported my tweet to him.
Hey, well done, sir.
I said that he didn't know his father because his father took one look at him when he was born and abandoned him. And apparently he found that very hurtful.
Oh, diddums.
He did. He did.
Oh,
yeah.
diddums.
He did.
You should have got hashtags saying the truck should have won.
It would explain The Shining, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Fathers suck, man. Type.
Yeah, yeah.
Who needs one anyway, man?
Yeah. I miss you, Daddy. type. Just tears all over it.
I think his dad was like a merchant marine. And he legit was like, oh my God, I'm out of here, man.
King is such a tool now.
Oh, he's like... There was the time I bought every one of his books as they come out because I loved his stuff. And then he just become what he is now, you know?
Hey, there's another example, isn't it? The guy hung on too long, way too up his own ass. Everybody telling him he's awesome. I think it's just, I just think it's, far be it for me to quote The Dark Knight, but what they say in it, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Yeah. I'll tell you, telling quotes in that film, I like the one the Joker says, where he's, when the chips are down, these society will eat each other. And like going back to what you said earlier, Sean, about the gays and the trans and the feminists all fighting one amongst each other.
Yeah.
The best line in that movie for me is when he says, it's about, what is it? It's about sending a message.
It's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
Yeah.
You want to know how I got these scars?
Damn fine film.
It's the best of those three for sure.
I kept waiting for him to go, I just cut myself shaving. That's the only thing that happened. It was no big deal.
Yeah, it's monkey.
What? Isn't there a term for that too? It's like the Glastonbury smile or something like that.
It's a Chelsea smile.
Chelsea smile, yeah.
So what they used to do is they used to cut you a little bit here and here.
Yeah.
And then kick you in the bollocks.
Make it rip open.
Chelsea smile. That's what it used to be called.
Why Chelsea? Wow. Why Chelsea? Is it the girl's name that invented it, or?
No, it's Chelsea Football Club when all the hooligans were running rampage through the football during the 70s and 80s. They used to throw darts across the crowds. Football over in this country in the 70s and 80s was just a disgrace. Football clubs got banned from Europe, weren't allowed to compete in competitions.
Imagine mutilating another human being because of a football game, man. That's crazy.
No, not even a football game, a soccer game.
I was trying to use proper nomenclature for.
yeah. Well, I appreciate it, Sean. Hooliganism was really bad. So yeah, it's a Chelsea smile, but it might have been called a Glaswegian smile as well. I'm not too sure. I know a Glaswegian kiss.
Didn't the whole soccer hooligan thing finally kind of come to an end after they burnt out a stadium and killed like 8,000 people in the stadium?
I
think it was 6 million to be exact. Yeah.
Something like that.
there is a certain team in this country where they've got a very bad history, but they'll never admit it was their fault. And they burnt down a stadium in Italy and killed loads of. I think it was Italy, killed loads of people. Then we've had people breaking into stadiums. That was Hillsborough. Broken stadiums, overcrowding, and that people were just literally crushed. But football's gone the complete other way now. It's super family friendly, and
the closest we have to that is Detroit fans,
like Meghan Markle, right?
Oh, jeez.
Speaking of, Matt, why don't you give us an update on the whole Prince Harry thing? Now, I remember a time when Harry was kind of considered cool, I thought. He was just back from the war, and,
Man, you used to be cool.
What happened to you, man? You lost touch.
He was very cool. He was the golden boy of the royal family. You know, he was a lad, he was a dude, he was out drinking and womanizing and everything else. And then he met Merkel.
Yeah, and she totally cucked him.
I'll tell you what, she must be able to suck a fucking watermelon through a hose pipe, that woman, because he is proper cuck now. He's despised. I don't care what anyone says.
But Matt, but she's black.
Thing is, like, what really gets our go?
I think she's black, like Elizabeth Warren is Indian.
Well, she's half black.
Yeah, she's half. Yeah,
I know. But I mean, it's like God,
she was welcomed over here. I know they play the violin, but she was welcome over here. I mean, you've only got to look at video or pictures of the wedding. You know, there's literally tens of thousands of people in the street cheering and waving flags, and then she plays the race card. And be honest with you, we don't like it. We don't like the race card over here.
You don't?
When everyone plays the race card, we're like, no, fuck you, no.
I would have never.
Yeah, that's an American import, you lucky bastards.
Yeah.
We're ruining the world. Hey, man, we're spreading American globalism all over. You're just another victim. I'm sorry.
Harry and Meghan in particular is absolutely despised. And Harry is, I'd said despised. He's probably hated more than despised because we cling on to the hope that there's a way back for him. He's a bit like Anakin Skywalker.
Do you think like he will eventually? I can't see them lasting, honestly.
No.
I wonder if they'll be. Do you think that he'll be welcome back though? Do you think what could he do to get back in your good graces? Besides beat her like Justin Roiland beats a woman. Allegedly.
He just got to stop slagging us off. It's as simple as that. Just don't slag us off. Or the royal family, whether you're a royalist or not. I'm not particularly a royalist, but I do enjoy the royal family. I know Phil hasn't got a particularly good word to say about them, but you know, it's an institution that's been going for thousands of years. You've got to respect that. You've got to respect the traditions. And you can't come over here and marry into the royal family and then about a month later start claiming that everyone's racist and there's white supremacy. It's like, I mean, it's the most insulting thing in the world. And it's coming on the arse.
I look at her, screaming, I'm oppressed because I'm black, with her millions and millions of dollars of fame and everybody, Spotify contract where they hand her $10 million to do like one podcast or something. And it's like, I look at guys that, like good people in the inner city, ducking bullets and barely able to get ahead. It's like, oh, but she's oppressed, right? Mm-hmm. Like, shut up. Just shut up.
So she before they left the family or whatever, she was still not a legitimate princess, right? Like, you got to be one of the inbred or something to be like.
I think she was. I don't know what the actual the terminology, but aren't they the Dutch? I'll have to look it up. But I'm sure she's still a princess.
Yeah,
you get a title or something.
No, I know she got a title, but I thought like she could never be like. So if by an impossible turn of events and like Harriet ended up being king, she would not have been called like Queen Meghan, right? Like that. Don't you have to be part of like that certain family line or something to get?
Well, no. If Harry was next in line, obviously William is, but if Harry was next in line, and he married Meghan, she would be Queen Meghan.
So is what's his face, the current king, his wife, Queen?
Charles, no, Camilla will never be queen because she's a divorcee.
Oh, is that what is? Okay.
So that's not allowed. But William will be king, and Kate will be Queen Kate.
Mm.
So if William passes, then would she continue being queen until she passes?
No, she'll become the king. Because the next one is, what's his kid called? What's William's kid called? I don't know.
Willie.
But
Jr.
he'll be the next. He's let's have a look. Prince William kid.
Queen Elizabeth was queen forever until she passed away, and then Charles became king. So I'm like, I don't understand. Yeah, but he wasn't king.
Yeah, why wasn't?
No, she could have abdicated, but she didn't. So
why was her husband not the king? Why was he not the king though?
He was Greek.
Oh, okay.
Prince Philip's Greek. So I think there must be some law where he can't be king.
Was he Greek royalty though, or was he just some dude?
I think he was. Yeah, I think he was some sort of royal establishment. It's all. To be honest with you, I'm not a big royalist. I only go on the the limited information, but.
It's only your own fucking country. You should know these things.
Yeah, man.
Fuck that. So, but when the Queen's mum, obviously she was queen, but when her husband died, she was then formerly known as the Queen's mum or the Queen's mother.
Yeah, I remember that. Rose, I think. No, that's not right.
She's the one. She's the one that was the dude's wife in the King's Speech, right? That was the grand.
Yes. Yeah.
Not the one
because
that
he wasn't. No, because he wasn't heir to the throne. His brother was heir to the throne, but he married Mrs. Simpson, who was a divorcee in America, an American. So he abdicated and left the throne, which is why his brother Edward took over. Which is so the whole
but
the family tree moved down to Queen Elizabeth.
But his wife was the one that died. Was she was the Queen Mother that died before, not the
Queen Mother.
Yeah. But
yeah, no, she died probably 10 or so years ago. The Queen's just died, so now King is King Charles.
But she was But she was never queen, right? It went straight to the daughter that just.
It's the bloodline. Yes, it's not. If I was a king and if I was the king and I died, my wife wouldn't become queen and ruler. It'd be my son. My first son would become the king. So we've got King Charles, then we're going to have King William, then we're going to have King George, and obviously depending on what he grows up and has. So I mean, we've got at least another 70, 80 years of kings in this country before we might even see a queen again.
Well, good, because I can't think of anything worse than being like ruled over by a queen.
Hey! She was clearly had more testosterone than her son did.
That's true. Freddie Mercury had more testosterone than her son did.
Yeah, that's a diss against the son and a compliment to the queen. She had it going on. She was all right.
But William and Meghan are very well respected over here, but the other two.
I'm so glad we could go over European history in this movie channel.
There you go. I've probably got it all wrong.
Sorry about that.
I think that is absolutely the dictionary definition of going off the rails.
Well, we had some time to kill. What can I say?
Apparently. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close it up. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget Twitter / Last Movie Outpost on Facebook, or is it just /Last Movie? Nope, /Last Movie.
Yeah. Last Movie Outpost on Instagram, which you never plug.
Yep, @S on Instagram, because I never go to Instagram. I don't run that. That's Phil.
You should. Both of you should be on Instagram. That's where all of the spiciest memes come from that I show you guys.
Gab is where you get the spiciest memes, my friend.
Where is?
Gab.
Oh, well, I know, but I'm talking like stuff that won't get you banned. Like, I mean, obviously, I can plug my Telegram account, but we all know that that's not a good idea.
I've already got that.
Just send him your wallet address, and he'll help you extract that $10 million of Bitcoin. All right, then. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Sean, you got any last words?
Have a good week.
You too. Matt?
No. See you later.
Maybe. Gotta take a look at your contract. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next week on Outpost Frequencies.